Hey, I'm YogiDon, your octogenarian yogi. When I began yoga in 1996, I was 57 years old and stiff as a board. I could hardly reach below my knees. In these videos, I'll share what I've learned over the years about yoga's ethics, its philosophy, its poses, its breath work, and meditation. May we be protected together, may we be nourished together, may we create strength together, may our work together bring fulfillment, and may there be no disharmonies among us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In the first video of this series, The Bull in the China Shop, we learned that yoga's purpose is to teach us how to restrain those random thoughts in our minds. In other words, how to get the bull out of our mental china shop. To do this, we learned some quick calming techniques, and I introduced diaphragmatic breathing. In the second of the series, we looked at how our breathing can help control emotional response to stimulations and situations, how we can reduce our stress and anxiety through breath control, and how and why it works. We did this by learning 3 breaths: balancing, square, and 4-4-6-2 breaths. In this, the third part of this series, I want to offer you some important yogic breaths. Later on, we'll go into some of them in more depth, but for now, let's just learn how to do them and what their benefits are and when we might practice them. So, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of working with diaphragmatic breathing. It's the key to everything. Diaphragmatic breathing is the doorway to bringing stress under control by using our breath. It's how we can begin to restrain those random thoughts, the ones that drive us crazy and cause us all the trouble. We're going to do some yogic breaths, sometimes called pranayama. Prana means life force. Yama means work or exercise. So pranayama, life force, breath control, breath exercise. First, however, I want to advise you that following your doctor's advice is absolutely important in managing this or any other program. So before you begin to incorporate this into your practice of daily routine, please check with your doctor and make sure that you and your physician are in agreement about proceeding. As we go through these breaths, please pause the video and take a screenshot of the instruction cards I've included with each exercise. First, we're going to do Dirga breath. It's one of the most calming yoga breath practices. It's called Dirga, or 3-part breathing, or in Sanskrit it means complete breath. It's one that should be done using that diaphragmatic breathing that we've been practicing. To do diaphragmatic breathing, we generally practice in a sitting position. Although it could be done on your back, it could be done standing up. But for now, why don't you try practicing it sitting down? Then you can be more relaxed. To do Dirga breath, on the inhale, we consciously inflate the belly, the lower part of the belly, then consciously expand into the upper part of the belly, and finally into the chest. This is done slowly and consciously, and then to exhale is reversed. We exhale by trying to empty and relax the chest, then the upper abdomen, and finally the lower abdomen. Then we repeat. Practice it until it feels almost like a wave flowing up and down your body. Once you get it, Dirga breath is a good way to center and relax before yoga or meditation practice. It helps to sweep all that junk out of your minds. The next breath is called Ujjayi breath. It's sometimes known as ocean breath because when you do this breath, it sort of sounds like ocean waves rolling in and out. The word Ujjayi is Sanskrit for victorious, victory over the body, victory of the breath over the body, which tells us something about its benefits and what and why we're doing it. It can be used anytime to deal with stress, insomnia, or tension. Of course, you may want to consider your surroundings before you begin to do this breath. If you're in public, you might want to use a square breath or 4-4-6-2, and you'll see why when we do this. Begin in any position, but for practice we'll also begin sitting. So we'll take a big long inhale, and as we exhale, constrict the back of the throat so that you can hear the sound of your exhale. You may need to increase the volume to hear me breathing. Okay, you can go ahead and lower the volume now. Rest between each cycle, and then repeat. This is a breath that can be used while you're doing strenuous yoga poses like sun salutation or the warrior poses. Things that when you're exerting lots of energy, that extra breath helps to stimulate you. But ironically, although it's used in a lot of these strenuous situations, it also is a good breath for calming us down. And we'll get into the reasons for that at a later time. Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breath exercise, is a pretty simple one. Again, it's done with the diaphragmatic breathing. And we simply bring our hand to our face, index and middle finger here at the point between the eyebrows, thumb at the right nostril, ring finger at the left nostril. We inhale, and then we're going to close off the left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close off the right, and exhale left. Inhale left, close and switch, and that's one round. Exhaling right. Inhale right, close and switch. Inhale, close and switch. Inhale right, close and switch. Exhale, inhaling left, and that's it. So, alternate nostril breath, one breath in and out through each nostril beginning on the exhale, then close and switch, exhaling on the opposite nostril, inhaling, and that's one round. So a breath through each side, it constitutes one round. So when you're practicing this, begin doing maybe 10 rounds, pause for a little bit, half a minute or so, maybe a minute, and then repeat another set of 10 rounds. So that's a breath on each side, a total of 20 breaths each side. Okay, that is alternate nostril breath exercise. Alternate nostril breath, or Nadi Shodhana, is based on diaphragmatic breathing, and it's also sort of like Dirga breath in that you tend to hear it. Alternate nostril breath balances the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system, and so we can understand that it's going to give us a balance and calm. Okay, next one we want to do is called KAPALABHATI, and that means shining skull breath. This breath is done with an active this breath is done with an active exhale and a passive inhale. That may sound strange, and it was sort of strange because I had a little trouble saying it myself. But if you think about what happens when you laugh, maybe you'll get the idea of how this breath works. When we laugh, we're expelling. Also, when we say the word out, ha, 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 and that's Kapalabhati. except we try and do it without the noise. Several years ago, there was something called laughing yoga that was popular. And when you think about it, when you laugh, belly laugh, what you're doing really is a very close breath to Kapalabhati. You don't actually actively, consciously inhale when you do this pose or this breath practice. So try and build up to doing Kapalabhati about 60 to 90 breaths per minute, rest between, and then do another set. So its benefits are that it helps to cleanse the lungs, the sinuses, the respiratory system. It strengthens the diaphragm, the breathing muscle, and the abdominal muscles. It also increases the body's oxygen and energizes the brain. It's a good preparation for meditation and for many of the other things that may require a lot of focus. All right, let's do that Kapalabhati again. Now I was doing that with my mouth open so you could hear better, but we want to do it with the mouth closed. Almost all yoga breaths are done through the nose. Okay. The next and last breath that we're going to do is called Bhastrika, and that means bellows, just like the bellows that you might use to start a fire in a fireplace or campfire. Once you get good control of your diaphragm, this breath becomes fairly easy, I think, and comfortable. So like you would if you were getting ready for meditation, and you just basically pump your diaphragm, and as you pump down, air comes in, belly moves forward. As you exhale, it moves in the other direction. You can begin doing this practice at a comfortable rate. Do it about 1 breath per minute. That's 60 breaths per, 1 breath per second, 60 breaths per minute. And then try doing sets of 3 and maybe do 7 to 10 breaths with each round, building up to maybe a breath rate of about 100 to 120 breaths per minute. That's about 1 every half second or so. So let's do that bellows breath again, because it's a very useful and helpful breath. It's one that helps to relax us and also helps to, again, energize us depending on exactly how we do it. And we'll get into that a little more deeply at another time. As we move into this next section, I'm going to do some yoga postures, some asanas. And as I do, I want to use my Ujjayi breath, and I want you to be able to hear it. So you might need to turn up the volume a bit. Uttanasana. Surya Namaskara. Tadasana. Virabhadrasana 1, right side. Parsvakonasana, right side. Vada Parsvakonasana, right side. Virabhadrasana 1, left side. Parsvakonasana, left side. Vada Parsvakonasana, left side. Prasarita Padottanasana 1. Prasarita Padottanasana 1A. Utkatasana. Dynamic downhill skiers pose. Tadasana. Coming to Sukhasana, easy sitting pose. Okay, you can go ahead and lower the volume now. May our bodies be strong, relaxed, and healthy. May our minds be calm, clear, and serene. May our hearts be filled with loving kindness, and may we live our lives in harmony with our true inner selves. May we be friendly toward the joyful, compassionate toward the suffering. May we celebrate the good in others and remain impartial to their faults and imperfections. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. I hope you'll subscribe and share these videos.